Hello and welcome to my channel. If you are new here, my name is Jess and I cover all things PCOS and other lifestyle musings. Today, we're going to be doing a deep dive into PCOS and your immune system. There is a lot of data out there over the years, but especially now, that is suggesting that PCOS can lead to a number of autoimmune diseases as well as directly affect your immune system. So we're gonna be discussing that today. It's not gonna be the happiest of videos, but my aim for this video is to create awareness and show you all of the areas that PCOS can affect. It's not just like surface level things. There's so many things that are going on in our bodies all the time with this. And hopefully when we have this information with us, we can then make the appropriate necessary steps to either help manage those symptoms, help prevent these autoimmune diseases from occurring, and what we can do about it. So get your coffee, get a pen and paper, and let's deep dive into this. Just a disclaimer, I am not a doctor or a dietitian or a nutritionist. I am simply a woman who has had PCOS for 15 years, and all I do on this channel is relay information directly from medical journals. So I am doing the latest data and research for you and just doing it in a more user-friendly way because not all of us like reading medical journals, let's be honest, okay? PCOS is the most prevalent endocrine disorder in the whole world. It is more prevalent in certain countries than other, but there has been a rise of it in recent years. We don't know if it's due to something specific or if it's because there's more data and more testing available. So they're kind of trying to figure that out right now. Basically, if you have PCOS, you have super high androgens, you have very low progesterone, which leads your body to overproduce things like insulin, which then lead to an array of symptoms, including prediabetes or diabetes, hirsutism, acne, weight gain, infertility, the list goes on and on. However, when you also have low progesterone, it also leads your body to overproduce antibodies in your system. Now, this is not a good thing. This can lead to an array of autoimmune disorders. It can also lead to other issues which we are going to touch on very effectively in this video. Women with PCOS also have a higher risk of certain cancers, including ovarian cancer, endometrial cancer, I believe, yes. However, not a higher risk of breast cancer. When you also have those low levels of progesterone, I should say, you also will overproduce estrogen, which again can lead to various cancers. So think of it almost as a regular woman's hormones are more balanced than ours. Because ours are super low, our body has to overcompensate for that. So what it does is it produces more of hormones that we don't need. So I, for one, am always sick. I know I have a job where I'm always around people that are ill. However, I am definitely more susceptible to getting sick versus a healthy woman my age. And there's reasons for that. When you have PCOS, your body is constantly under inflammation. You basically have chronic inflammation. So when our bodies are under constant inflammation, it can obviously lead to an array of things. What it can do is produce anti-nuclear antibody, or ANA, which can lead to a bunch of autoimmune disorders. I'm going to list some common antibodies that have been found in women with PCOS. They are finding that women with PCOS have many of these antibodies versus the regular person. So one of them is called anti-spermatic, which sounds like it is. It's basically an antibody that attacks sperm. So male sperm, which is why some women may be ovulating but not able to get pregnant because your body is literally attacking the sperm. So that's fun for us. However, could be exciting for women who don't want to get pregnant. A tick and a minus, what can I say? We also have a higher chance of anti-SM or antihistone, which can lead to lupus. There is also anti-ovarian antibodies, which can lead to low fertility rates or no ovulation in women, which is a quite common symptom with PCOS. And then there's anti-islet cell antibodies, which has to do with an increased chance of getting diabetes. So let's talk about these antibodies. First antibody we're going to be talking about is ANA, which is basically an anti-nuclear antibody. And what this antibody does is it basically attacks the tissue in your body. Most commonly, it can lead to lupus, and that is directly due to our body being under chronic inflammation. The second antibody that our bodies, that women with PCOS have a higher chance of producing is the anti-thyroid antibody. So research has suggested that anti-thyroid antibodies are 3 times more likely in women with PCOS than women without PCOS. So having autoimmune thyroiditis, say that 5 times fast, has been linked to an array of outcomes in the human body for women with PCOS, including low fertility, non-ovulation, miscarriages, a disturbed thyroid profile when you're pregnant, as well as cognitive disorders with a child later in life. So this is good information because now many of us women with PCOS try to get pregnant and we're not able to, and there is a cornucopia of reasons as to why that's not happening. Perhaps you actually are positive for these antibodies in your system, and that's literally the reason why you're not able to get pregnant. The next antibody that is more likely in women with PCOS, or that has been found in a lot of women with PCOS, is the anti-islet cell antibody. This is the destruction of beta cells in the pancreas, which directly affects your insulin and can lead to type 1 diabetes, as well as weight gain. A lot of us with PCOS are either pre-diabetic or have high resting glucose sugars, which is like myself, or do have diabetes. What's interesting that I found in one of these papers is they're finding that women who don't have PCOS and have diabetes and have been treated for years with insulin and like an aggressive amount of insulin have been showed that also can trigger an autoimmune response and create PCOS, which is interesting. So women are either born with PCOS or have it developed throughout their life, but then they can also be given it if given too much insulin with diabetes. So the conclusion basically in these journals said that women with PCOS have a higher chance of developing antibodies or autoimmune diseases. That being said, such as hyperthyroidism or Hashimoto's or ovulation and fertility issues, these are things that you can go to the doctor and have tested and catch it before it affects you, if that makes sense. So what the data or what the researchers or the researchers, I don't know the proper name, let's say the researchers or the doctors, I should say, are suggesting these are things you can flag to your healthcare professional to get tested for, to either rule them out or to help with medication in those symptoms. A lot of these things, like I've discussed on this channel before, like metformin helps with a lot of these symptoms. There's medications that can help with fertility and ovulation. There's a lot of things out there, but if you don't know exactly what your body needs, it's hard to cure it, right? I hope that this basically gave you some basic surface level information. I will obviously link the journals down below so that you can read more extensively. But if you do have PCOS, you have a weaker immune system and you are also more susceptible to getting sick and having antibodies in your system versus someone without PCOS. So it's just something to be aware of, something to consider when you see a doctor for something to be checked out. If you are someone with PCOS and an autoimmune disease, please write up your story below. It really does help our audience. I say this all the time on my channel. It's about creating a community that can help each other, and the comment section is actually very valuable to a lot of people. So share your ideas, thoughts, stories below, as it helps us all, and I will see you all in the next video. Bye!